IsReal News. These are the evening headlines for Tuesday, April 7th. A last-minute diplomatic push is underway as the deadline on Iran approaches. Pakistan is proposing a 2-week extension and a temporary ceasefire, with calls for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz during that period. President Donald Trump says negotiations are tense but ongoing, while an Iranian official indicates Tehran is reviewing the proposal positively, even as it insists it is prepared for both peace and continued war. The proposal comes just hours before the U.S. ultimatum expires. Israeli officials say the talks are advancing toward a possible temporary ceasefire, but warn the situation remains fluid and uncertain. At the same time, the Israeli military is preparing for a possible surge in missile fire. Officials warn that Iran could intensify attacks in the final hours before any ceasefire takes hold, describing the possibility of so-called farewell barrages. The military says there is no specific intelligence pointing to an imminent escalation, but stresses heightened alert across the region and urges the public to remain vigilant and follow safety instructions. Behind the scenes, intelligence sources say negotiations between the United States and Iran are more advanced than publicly acknowledged, with both sides seeking at least a temporary halt in fighting to allow further talks. The emerging framework under discussion includes a short-term ceasefire of 1 to 2 weeks, the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, and limited initial agreements that could lead to a broader deal. The diplomatic momentum follows earlier reports that Iran had cut off talks, a move now assessed by some intelligence officials as tactical positioning rather than a true breakdown in negotiations. Tensions remain high, however. The White House posts a message declaring that decades of what it calls Iranian terror will come to an end, while earlier statements from both sides include stark warnings of large-scale destruction. Inside Iran, residents are fleeing Tehran in large numbers, heading north toward the Caspian Sea amid fears of a potential U.S. strike on energy infrastructure. Reports describe heavy traffic and growing public anxiety over what could unfold in the coming hours. Even as talks continue, strikes are ongoing. Reports indicate attacks on a petrochemical facility in Mashhad and an aluminum plant in Arak. There are also signs of cautious optimism in global markets. Stocks edged higher on hopes of a ceasefire, while oil prices fluctuated as the deadline tied to the Strait of Hormuz approaches. Officials say a response from Washington to the Pakistani proposal is expected soon, with some regional sources suggesting a deal could be reached as early as tonight. Those are the latest headlines from IsReal News.